You're good to go.
All right. Hey, friends. So just a quick introduction. My name is Meredith Drake, and I have been thriving since February of 2015. And in listening to a lot of the other promoters who have been doing this for a long time, my story is similar to theirs in that I was not planning to promote. In fact, I remember telling Brittany whenever she reached out to me, I said, I am not good at sales. Whenever I graduated from college, they actually wanted me to be in a sales position. Because I failed the sales aptitude test. So that's how not salesy I am. So anyway, I don't have mute control, so if you are able to mute yourself, that's helpful. So anyway, so I told Brittany, I said, I'm not good at sales, but I love this product. She told me if I was able to get 2 people to order with me as customers, that I would be able to get my product for free. And at that time, getting the product for free was huge for our family. And so I said, well, I definitely want to get it for free. So she said, get these 2 people. And I was like, I can find 2 people who are tired. So I contacted Brittany at the end of the week and I said, hey, I said, I've got my 2 people. I said, actually, I have 3. So you can just have this other person for your business. And she said, well, we can do that. Or let me just tell you that if you have 1 more person, then you can get this bonus of $400 plus another $100 in product credit. So you can not only get your product for free and get those credits, you can get another $100 in credit and this $400 bonus. And I thought, oh my goodness, I could use $400. And at that time in our family, you know, we were pastoring a small church, and it was like, $400 may as well have been $4,000 because it made that big of an impact to me. And I thought, well, I'll find 1 more person. So I did, and I hit that $400 bonus. And then she said, hey, you still have time in this 2 weeks. You can hit that again. And so long story short, I ended up hitting both of those bonuses, the VIP 800, the VIP 1600, and the iPad bonus at that time. Now it's the Maui Gym sunglasses. And then I set my husband up and I hit those bonuses under his account also. And it was just absolutely life-changing for us. And at that point, I just looked at my husband and I said, I think I'm a promoter now. Because I hadn't intended to be a promoter. I just loved this product and it did so much for me that I couldn't help but share and talk about it. So anyway, that being said, the reason that they have the VIP bonuses is because I want to be in the mindset of I'm not able to mute you. So you can mute yourself. That's really helpful because we're music. Sorry. Thanks. So anyway, the reason that they have us do the VIP bonuses at the very beginning is that they're really trying to get us in the mindset of how that we can consistently grow and build our business. So if we're constantly in the mindset of looking for 2 customers, looking for 2 promoters, then that's going to help us consistently build our business. And so in Sharing Thrive for 5 years now, I've learned some really impactful lessons. So I wanted to share some of those with you. And I feel like some of them have been the hard way, just like anything in life, that there are great lessons and there's the excitement that comes with sharing something and the enthusiasm that comes with that. But on the flip side, there's also some difficult things that you have to overcome in your mentality. And I know for me that a lot of that is just in my own head, getting out of my own head. And so something that was really impactful to me that was said a few weeks ago, whenever that Paul and Jason did their online training, since we weren't able to have Thrivepalooza, one of the statements that was made was, you can work this business full-time, you can work this business part-time, but you cannot just work it sometime. So we have to show up and we have to be consistent. And so for me, that has been one of my challenges, because my husband and I we pastor a church, and so we wear a lot of hats because we don't have a lot of staff members, and so that translates to us doing that full time. And then I have 5 kids, and we homeschool, and so that's full time. And so a lot of times I would fall into the comparison trap of looking at other moms or other promoters and saying, you know, well, they've got all of this, and they're hitting all of these bonuses. Why am I not doing that? And I would feel guilty because I wasn't running my business the way that they were. And on the flip side of that, a lot of that was on myself because I was not choosing to work it even part-time. I would say, well, I can't do it today, so I'm not going to show up. And so what I've really learned over the last few years, after the initial, woohoo, this is fun, I want to do all of this, after it, truly becomes, this is a business and I need to show up just like I would for any job, that there are some things that we have to apply and put into practice. And so in that's why that they so encourage us to have that VIP mindset, that we're constantly looking for those 2 customers. We're constantly looking to find 2 promoters to help them hit those bonuses, that we're investing in other people to help them hit those bonuses, because we know what a life-changing bonus can do for our family. And so we want to help other people do that. So that's why they've given us the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 tools. And I was so excited. I mean, you literally can go into your office and click on it, and it pops this beautiful graphic up that every day, we should be reaching out to at least 5 people. But yet I hear so many people, who are reaching out to so many more. And that if we are training ourselves to consistently be reaching out, it really doesn't take that long for us to reach out to 5 people, 10 people, or even 20 people, that we have a thoughtful message that we've prepared that we send out to those people, that we're reaching out to people consistently every day, that we're consistently following up with at least 4 people or 8 people, however many times you want to double or triple that we're following up with people consistently every day, that we don't just say, hey, here's Thrive, and then we never, follow up, but that we're consistently reaching out and following up with people after we've reached out to them, that we are being consistent with social media posts. And social media for me, I am all about sharing my kids and my life. And so being active on social media has never been an issue, but putting thoughtful posts that are adding value to people is something that I really kind of had to retrain myself to do, because I can post on social media and I can talk about me all day long, and people are going to just keep scrolling, or they might hit like. But whenever I'm putting thoughtful posts on there that people can engage with, then it gives them an opportunity to engage in conversation and for me to build a relationship with them. And then that we're constantly looking to add additional names to our list, at least 2 names every day, that we're looking, who else can I add that could need Thrive? Who do I already know? Who can I make friends with that I know needs this product? Because there's no limit to the people that need this product. And it surprises me 5 years later, how many times people will say, hey, tell me about Thrive. What is that? And I'm thinking, where have you been the last 5 years? Because I've been talking about it and sharing about it for 5 years. And I'm thinking, do you not see every single post that I make? But they don't. People are not focused on just what you're posting. They have their own lives, just like each of us do. And then are we constantly connecting our new people with other leaders, that we're connecting with third-party validation, and that we're connecting with other people, that those 5 steps are so important in building our business and being consistent. So some of the things that I just kind of wanted to talk about that I've really learned the last 5 years, and it's kind of odd for me to say, this is what I did, this is I, because I kind of have retrained myself on my Facebook and social media to talk about you and you and you and they, and asking questions that are mindful about other people. So it's a little bit odd to kind of flip it back over and say what I have done or what we should do. So one of the main things that I've noticed is exactly what I just said, is that we need to be focusing on the other people. One of the most impactful books that everyone should read is How to Win Friends and Influence People. And in that book, one of the principles is that most people, they want to hear the sound of their own name. They want to know that you are interested in them. They want to tell you about themselves. They want to tell you about their kids. They want to tell you everything else. And I know that most of us, we can have conversation with someone for a few minutes, and we can notice that when we start to say something about ourselves, most of the time they're going to come back with, oh, me too. And they want to tell you something about themselves. And so what we need to be mindful of is looking for opportunities to allow them to do that, to allow them to share about their life and who they are and what's going on. We need to show them that we really do care about that, because so many people really don't. They just want to talk about themselves. They really don't want to care or be invested in building a relationship with someone else. And that's really who we need to be as people. And especially right now, people are really looking for someone who cares, not someone who's just trying to push a product or sell it. Even though we know that this is what people need, that everyone needs to feel their best. We know we have what they need, but on the flip side of that, before that, it's just like we hear all the time. People don't care how much you know. They don't care what you have until they know that you care about them. And so we have to be intentional about making sure that our posts and our conversations are focused on other people. And so it's interesting because a lot of times I've, especially since I kind of tried to start eliminating the words I and me from a lot of my posts, and sometimes it's inevitable, you do have to have it in there, but as much as possible, I try to frame the wording on my posts on other people. And so we're asking mindful questions. How would you feel? Imagine feeling this way. Rather than saying, I felt like this is what happened to me, that we're saying, can you relate to this? How do you feel? And we're asking about other people in their day, and we're making them think about themselves. We're not making them think, oh, I'm just talking about myself again. I'm just bragging. I'm just pushing a product. That we're truly making them feel like we are interested in investing in them. And so that we're making our posts and our conversations and our interactions with other people focused on them and how that we can add value to them. So asking questions in our post, it's really been interesting because a lot of times I've made a post and I've noticed no one's interacting with my post. And I'll go back and I'll just tweak one thing. And at the very beginning of my post, I'll ask a question that says something about them. You know, how would this make you feel? Or does this happen to you? Or have you noticed this? And as soon as I ask a question that gives people opportunity to interact with me, then those comments start popping in, which in turn allows me to go back and have conversation with them. And a lot of times those posts are not necessarily about Thrive, that we're sprinkling Thrive in throughout, you know, my conversations. That, you know, if you scroll through my Facebook, most of my posts are not just about Thrive. They're asking people questions, or they're asking opinions. And there are a lot of times that I'll ask someone's opinion, or, you know, just ask a general opinion on Facebook, and it's not something that I don't already know or that I really need to know that information, but it's something that people love to feel like that you are valuing their insight. And a lot of times there are people who will post opinions that are different from mine. And I always will take the opportunity to say, thank you for sharing that. I can see your point. I can see why you feel that way. And to validate what they are saying and to make them know that what they are saying is valuable, that their voice matters too, and that we really do care about them and about what their thoughts and opinions are. And so we need to do that, not just in our postings, but whenever people are commenting in our posts, that we're going back and we're asking them follow-up questions and continuing to build that conversation. And that leads to an easy transition for us to take that over to our Facebook Messenger and to have a private conversation with them. And the more that people are seeing that they can know, like, and trust us and our life, then they're going to begin to say, hey, what's this Thrive business? Because they know that you're not just talking to them just so that you can sell a product to them. But, and I've told people before, you know, we're friends. We were friends before Thrive. We're going to be friends however long, you know, that I'm here. We're always going to be friends. My friendship with you is not based on whether or not you use a product. I care about you as a person. And that is so important for people to know. And so we need to constantly be looking for ways to add value into our posts and comments and conversations. People are looking for voices of encouragement. They're looking for hope, and not just in their health. They're looking for hope in general. They are looking for people to encourage them that they really can be the person that they want to be, that they really can have the life that they want to have, that there really is something better for them, that they don't have to struggle in the ways that they are, but they're not going to tell us all. And some people will immediately post about how tired they are, but there are some people who they have to trust you before they're going to tell you, I'm exhausted and I feel like I'm failing as a mom. And I mean, I know that's how I was, but I didn't go around broadcasting on Facebook that I felt like I was exhausted and I was, feeling like a failure and feeling like, how in the world am I going to balance all of this? It took me trusting someone to be able to tell them that. So we need to let people know how much that we care about them. And that's why it's so important for us to build relationships. And I know all of us, it surprises me how often, I mean, I've had multiple just this week of people who do nothing to build relationship. They don't even say, hey, how are you? How's your day? How's your family? They do nothing to build relationship, and they just immediately zoom into your inbox and say, hey, will you make this post for me? My friend has this product, and they do nothing to build relationship or to even see if that's a product that I need or to even know what's going on. And it amazes me that a lot of people take no initiative to make any conversation before just coming in with a sales post or coming in with a sales pitch at us. And so as thrivers, we have to be intentional that that's not who we are. It's one thing if it's our best friend that we talk to every day and we say, hey, I just started this product. It's amazing. You've got to try it. We've already built relationship with those people, but there are thousands of people on Facebook. I mean, all of us, can have thousands of friends on Facebook. There's no way that we have that close of a relationship with every single one of those people. So it's important for us to make sure that we're building our relationships and letting them know that they have value and that we value them. The other thing that we can do, and we've been so blessed that we've had leaders who have set up some amazing customer groups so that we can let other people just see the joy that comes from Thrive, that we are a happy people, we're encouraging people, that the third-party validation of how amazing our product is and the lifestyle that comes with it, letting other people see that either in a Facebook group or by adding in a three-way chat. If somebody's asking and they have questions, adding a third-party validation. It always amazes me the power of third-party validation. And I was reminded of that again this week because my husband has poison ivy. We don't know how he got it, but a few years ago, he had poison ivy because we had a hurricane and the debris was everywhere. And so my husband was helping. I had been out of town because I evacuated with my little babies. And so he was working, doing all this. So he was covered head to toe in poison ivy. And there is a point to this. And I had told him repeatedly, I said, look, there's this product that you can get that I'm telling you will work. It will help calm that itching down. It works. You need to get it. And he didn't listen to me. He would not take my opinion, would not take my advice, continued, itching and being uncomfortable for like 3 weeks. I mean, we were going on a month that he was just miserable. And then finally, the FEMA lady came out on our house and she said, hey, you have poison ivy. This product is amazing. You should try it. And it was the exact product I'd been talking to him about for 3 weeks. And so then suddenly this third party gives information to him and he listens to her. And I'm thinking, I have been saying the same thing to you, but because it's your wife, you're not listening. And so of course, what I said worked and it was correct, but whenever that we have third-party validation, there's something about somebody else saying the same thing that you're saying that really validates it and makes people say, oh, okay, I guess I'll try that, even if it's a complete stranger, which is just crazy to me. But I always come back to that illustration because it's so illustrates just how we, a lot of times, there are very few people who I know who just want to listen to the first person. They want to see, they want to watch, they want to listen, they want to see other people saying the same thing rather than just getting one opinion. So that's why third-party validation is so important. And it's important for us to connect people with someone who has a story similar to theirs. I always ask, what is it about Thrive that you're interested in? Are you tired? Do you have aches and discomforts? And I find someone who has a similar story that they can relate to connect them with. And so we need to be careful that whenever we are doing that, that we don't just say, hey, I'm connecting you to my upline. Hey, I'm connecting you to this person who started me on Thrive. You know, we have to be careful that we're not using salesy lingo, because all of us have been in situations where we're like, ugh, this is another sales pitch. And I mean, I had two just today. And sometimes, you know, we want to feel like you care, and that you're not just trying to build a product, you're not just trying to build a business or, you know, run your numbers. They want to know, like we said, they want to know that you are caring about them. And so one of the ways that we can do that, because it's so easy, and most people that send these messages to us, they're just literally doing a copy paste. And I know that because I get the same message multiple times a week. And I'm thinking, I've gotten this message from 10 other people in the last month. But that is one of the reasons why it's so important for me, whenever I'm talking with someone, to send a voice message, to send a voice clip. And that is a powerful feature, because when people can hear the tone of your voice and they can hear the passion in your voice, and they can tell, hey, you know, she really does care. She's not just copy paste because she's trying to do however many reach outs. They can say, you know, hey, I'm like, hey friend, or, you know, and I always try to use their name so they don't just feel like it's a copy paste, you know, hey, you know, it's Meredith, thinking of you, how is whatever with your family, and having conversation so that they can hear the tone and the empathy in your voice. And that is so important for people to feel like that they are talking with a friend, that they're not talking with a salesman. And so along that line, it's important for us to find a leader that we can relate to. And when I say leader, you know, I know from the beginning of this, we've always, you know, said, this is my friend. We're all friends in this. We're working this together. This is all about relationship for us, that we find someone who, I look for someone whose personality is similar to mine and who's built their business the way that I want to build mine. And so we look at, how are they wording their post? You know, what questions are they asking? How are they responding? And so we can imitate in a lot of ways people who are successful and learn from how that they are interacting with people, how they're posting, how they're sharing. But on the flip side of that, it's so important for us to be ourselves, because I don't want someone to say, well, she's just trying to act, you know, she's just trying to act like Susie, or she's just trying to act like so-and-so. It's important for people to know that we are who we are, that we have a story. Thrive has given us a story that is powerful. The product has done something amazing for us, that we're still who we are, that we're not just parroting what somebody else says, and that we're not just comparing ourselves to someone else, but yet we can use the same tools and resources that they're using. We can use a lot of the same model. So it's important for us to find those people that we're following, that we're, you know, looking at their pattern. What have they done well? What have they done that is successful? Just like we do anything in life. But at the same time, make it your own, make it fun, make it your business, share it the way that you want to share it, share the product in a fun way that relates to you and your family, not the way that you feel like somebody else is or the way that you're supposed to do it. And in that, you know, we need to be, because people can smell a fake from a mile away, but people know that they can trust you. People can see, you know, hey, you know, she's sharing her life. She's talking about, you know, she's not perfect. Her house isn't clean all the time. She's talking about, you know, what she does well. She's talking about her struggles, that she's being a real person, and that is showing our life. That builds trust, that builds relationship with people, that we're not just out just, hey, every sales flyer that comes into our inbox, we're just popping it up there, because people are just going to scroll past that. People want to see that you're a real person who really cares. And so the other thing that I feel like is one of the most important lessons really that I've learned the last 5 years in sharing Thrive is that it is so important for us, because we're in this together, and that, you know, we think of our team as a family a lot of the time, and we really are. And it's so important for us to help our team. And, you know, to me, it's not important where people are in the upline, downline, that we're all in this together, and that we're sharing our stories, and we're helping each other, and we're, you know, offering third-party validation for each other. But on the flip side, it's so important for us to not just be so focused on building just our team that we neglect to build, if you're working this as a business, that you neglect to build your own personal network, because you need to be focused on people in your immediate contact list that you are building your team from. And I remember a few years ago, whenever that I hit 200K for the first time, I was about to hit 200K, and Brittany, she told me, she said, I'm really concerned because a lot of your growth is coming from this promoter and this promoter, and I'm not seeing it, from your personal enrollments. And I thought, well, it's fine, as long as the team is growing, what does it matter? And so I was spending all of my time investing in all of my other promoters and all of these other things, and was neglecting to focus on building my own personal network. And in the end, it really came back to bite me because promoters come and go and customers come and go because it's the nature of sales. But there is always going to be a group of people who need this product, who need what we have to offer. And so I cannot be dependent on someone else to build my business for me. That at the end of the day, I have to depend on myself. I have to know that I've done everything I can to be faithful, to be consistent, and to share my product, to share the story, so that people know what the opportunity is that they have, that they know what this product can do for them, that they know what it can do for their health, that they know what it can do for their finances. And so, in wrapping this up, it really is so important for us. Like I said at the beginning of this, one of the most impactful statements was, we can work this full-time, and we have a lot of people who do that. We can work this part-time, but we cannot just work it some of the time. That we have to be faithful, we have to stay positive and stay consistent in our VIP mindset. And so that brings us back to keeping it simple with, we can get focused on, obviously all of us have ranks that we want to hit, but if we keep the main thing, which is getting people on Thrive, letting them experience what pure nutrition can do for their body, remembering how we felt before we were on Thrive and why that we want that for people. That's why our why is so important, is knowing how we felt and how that we feel now and why we want that for other people. And so it's so important for us to constantly be looking for 2 customers, 2 promoters, and helping those people thrive for free. And that's the beauty of the way this company is set up, is that everyone can get their product for free if they are sharing and getting, people on this product, that everyone has a story to tell, and it's going to do something amazing for them when they're taking it correctly and consistently the right way. And so, and doing that, in saying, let's look for our 2 customers, let's look for our 2 promoters. The goal in that is not simply to build our business, it's to help those people feel their best and to help them get the product for free. Because I don't know anyone who, of course we all have those people who are like, oh, I don't care what it costs, I'll just pay for it. But all of us, at the end of the day, free is always better. And so whenever that we can do that for someone else, when we can help someone else get the product for free, be able to help the people who they know need the product, help them get it for free, then that's a win for everyone, because we want everyone that we know to be able to feel their best. And so that's why it is so important for us to show up consistently, to consistently do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, that we're doing that consistently, and that we're not just doing it part of the time, but that we are constantly having that VIP mindset of continuing to share the product and help people get it into their system so that they can feel their best, and that we can help them hit those bonuses and do everything that we can to help better their financial situation as well. Thank you guys so much for jumping on tonight. I've enjoyed sharing with you. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you all have a great night. Thanks for watching.